The rain hammered against the window like accusatory fists as I stared at the text message lighting up my phone. "We're losing the house. Can we stay with you? Love, Mom." My grip tightened until my knuckles whitened, the screen blurring through hot tears of fury. 17 years ago they'd thrown me out. 17 pregnant, with nothing but a backpack and the echo of my father's scream. "You're dead to us." Now, after clawing my way to a penthouse overlooking the city that nearly swallowed me whole, they dared ask for shelter? Heartbreak surged, raw and unrelenting, twisting into resentment so deep it burned my throat. I hurled the phone across the room, the crack of it against the marble floor mirroring the shatter in my chest. This wasn't just a request. It was an invasion, and in that moment, obsession ignited, a cold vow to make them beg, then watch them break. I paced the sleek living room of my high-rise apartment, the city lights twinkling below like distant stars mocking my isolation. The air was crisp with a scent of fresh leather from the sectional sofa I'd bought with my first big commission, a far cry from the damp alley where I'd slept those first nights after being cast out. Denial gripped me at first. Maybe the text was a mistake, a hallucination born of exhaustion. But no, the number was hers, unchanged after all these years. Inner thoughts raced, fantasies of justice flashing like lightning, turning them away at the door, their faces crumbling as I revealed my success built without them. Doubt crept in. Was I monstrous for considering it? They'd had reasons, layered motivations. Dad's rigid pride, Mom's silent complicity in his rage over my mistake with that boy from school. But moral conflict gnawed. They'd abandoned their daughter. Yet here I was, Sarah, now a self-made real estate mogul, wrestling with guilt over potential revenge. The next morning, sunlight pierced the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting long shadows across the hardwood floors that creaked softly under my bare feet. I brewed coffee, the bitter aroma grounding me as I replayed the betrayal in my mind. At 17, the argument had escalated in our suburban kitchen, linoleum sticky underfoot, the fridge humming like a judgmental spectator. "You're ruining our lives," Dad had bellowed, his face flushed, veins bulging. His motivation rooted in fear of scandal in our tight-knit community, where reputation was currency. Mom had stood by, wringing a dish towel, her eyes averted, heartbreak in her silence but no defense. They'd packed my bag themselves, the zipper's rasp a final severance. Now resentment festered. I'd lost my child to miscarriage in those homeless weeks, a secret buried deep, fueling my drive. Obsession took shape. I'd respond, but on my terms, stringing them along with subtle hints of welcome, building suspense in their desperation. My phone buzzed again, Dad this time. "Sarah, please. We have nowhere else." The words stung like salt in old wounds, humiliation resurfacing from years of scraping by in shelters, the metallic tang of canned soup my daily sustenance. I typed back carefully. "Let's talk. Come over tomorrow." Quiet calculation began. I'd prepare the apartment to dazzle, a showcase of what they'd discarded. Inner fear whispered, what if seeing them thawed my resolve? Moral grayness loomed. Revenge might satisfy, but at what cost to my soul? They arrived the next evening, the elevator's ding announcing their intrusion into my sanctuary. Mom looked frail, her once vibrant hair gray and limp, clutching a worn purse that smelled faintly of mothballs. Dad's broad shoulders slumped, his suit threadbare, eyes darting around the opulent foyer with a mix of awe and envy. "Sarah, this place," Mom murmured, her voice trembling, revealing hidden motives. Desperation mixed with regret, perhaps. "You've done well." Suppressed rage boiled in me as I led them to the living room, the city's hum filtering through the glass like distant applause for my triumph. We sat on opposite sides of the glass coffee table, tension thick as fog. "What happened?" I asked, my tone neutral, but inner thoughts screamed accusations. Dad cleared his throat, the sound raspy. "Bad investments. The market crashed. Your brother's idea, really." Foreshadowing. Mention of Jake, my golden boy sibling who'd always been spared their wrath. "We lost everything," Mom added, tears welling, manipulation subtle in her plea. "We know we hurt you, but family forgives, right?" Heartbreak clashed with anger. Her words rang hollow, yet guilt flickered. Hadn't I dreamed of reconciliation in lonelier moments? Dialogue unfolded naturally, heightening suspense. "You kicked me out," I said softly, fingers tracing the table's cool edge. "Pregnant, alone." Dad shifted, discomfort etching his face. "You were young, rebellious. We thought tough love." His excuse trailed off, moral complexity evident. He'd convinced himself it was for my good, burying guilt under pride. Mom reached out, but I pulled back. "We're sorry," she whispered, suppressed rage in her eyes. "No fear." I nodded, strategic. "Stay a few days. We'll figure it out." Inside, planning brewed. I'd uncover their full deceit, let them taste dependence before the twist. As nights passed, subtle hints emerged. Jake called, his voice oily over speakerphone. "Sis, great to hear you're helping. Maybe I can crash too." Resentment spiked. He'd inherited their favoritism, never facing consequences. The apartment felt invaded, their presence a sensory assault. Dad's snoring rumbling through walls, Mom's cooking filling the air with familiar spices that twisted nostalgia into nausea. Inner conflict intensified. Fantasies of eviction warred with doubt. Were they truly broken or playing me? Foreshadowing in overheard whispers. "She owes us for raising her," Dad muttered one night. Hidden motives surfacing, entitlement beneath remorse. Obsession grew, cold resolve hardening. I'd built my empire flipping properties, sensing market shifts like a predator. Now I'd apply that to them, research their downfall quietly. A late-night search on my laptop, screen glow illuminating my face, revealed bankruptcies tied to Jake's scams. Guilt mingled with triumph. They'd enabled him, betraying me twice over. Suspense built in quiet moments, watching them settle in, unaware of the trap closing. Weeks stretched into a slow-burn inferno, the apartment transforming from haven to pressure cooker. Mornings brought the clatter of dishes in my minimalist kitchen, stainless steel gleaming under pendant lights, the scent of burnt toast a reminder of their clumsiness in my ordered world. Inner thoughts fractured, denial fading as resentment dominated, but fear of becoming the villain haunted me. "How long?" I asked over breakfast, my voice laced with suppressed rage. Mom glanced at Dad. "Until we get back on our feet. Jake's working on something." His name dropped like a stone, rippling tension. Jake, the prodigal son whose ideas had ruined them. Moral complexity in his absence. He'd charmed them into complacency, his betrayal layered over mine. I nodded, planning in silence. Evenings, I'd retreat to my home office, the door's soft click sealing me in with leather-bound ledgers and dual monitors flickering like conspirators. Research deepened. Public records showed they'd mortgaged the family home, my childhood prison, to fund Jake's ventures. Heartbreak resurfaced, authentic and layered. Memories of laughter in that house clashing with a slamming door. Obsession fueled fantasies. Buying their foreclosed property, turning it against them. Doubt nagged. Was this justice or cruelty? Moral conflict peaked in mirror stares, my reflection showing a woman hardened, eyes shadowed by resolve. Suspense coiled tighter when Jake arrived unannounced, his knock sharp as a gunshot. He breezed in, cologne overpowering, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder like he owned the place. "Hey sis, long time." His grin was predatory, revealing secrets. He'd known about my success, perhaps stalked my rise. Dialogue crackled. "You look prosperous," he said, eyeing the art on walls. "Glad to see you're sharing." Suppressed rage simmered in me. "Sharing? After you all left me to rot." He laughed, manipulative. "Water under the bridge. Family, right?" Mom beamed, Dad nodded. Their motivations clear, enabling his charm to mask his scams. Nights blurred, tension rising in subtle ways. Jake's late returns reeking of bars, his whispers with Dad about opportunities. I eavesdropped from shadows, heart pounding, foreshadowing his hidden motive. He planned to pitch me an investment, using family ties as leverage. Inner fear escalated. What if they swayed me? But cold resolve won. I'd counter with my own scheme. Quiet calculation. I contacted my lawyer, the phone's cool glass against my ear, arranging to bid on their old house anonymously. The pivotal dinner came under stormy skies, rain lashing windows like my brewing fury. I cooked, rare for me, the sizzle of steaks filling the air, a sensory trap to lower guards. I've been thinking, I said, pouring wine with steady hands, about helping permanently. Eyes lit up, suspense palpable. Really? Mom breathed, hope laced with manipulation. Jake leaned in. Knew you'd come around. But my words twisted. I bought your old house. At auction. Shock rippled. Dad's fork clattered, Mom's gasp sharp. Dialogue heightened. What do you mean? Jake demanded, rage unsuppressed. It's mine now, I replied, voice even, inner triumph clashing with guilt. You can stay there as tenants. Pay rent. Humiliation mirrored my past. Their faces crumpled, betrayal full circle. Sarah, no, Mom pleaded, tears flowing. We're family. Cold resolve masked my heartbreak. Family? You taught me otherwise. The twist detonated like thunder. As they protested, my phone buzzed. A alert from my investigator. Jake's ventures were frauds. He'd embezzled from them, planning to flee. I revealed it, slides on my tablet glowing accusingly. You stole from your own parents, I said, pointing at him. Shock-widened eyes. Dad's fury turned on Jake. You what? Moral grayness emerged. My revenge exposed his deeper betrayal, but I'd orchestrated the reveal for maximum impact. Jake bolted, door slamming, echoing my past ejection. In the aftermath, rain eased to drizzle, the apartment silent as Mom and Dad packed. We deserved this, Dad muttered, guilt etching his face. His pride broken, motivations laid bare. Mom hugged me, whispering, I'm sorry, heartbreak mutual. But as they left, consequences hit. Isolation returned, obsession spent, leaving regret. Poetic justice tasted hollow. I'd won, but at the price of final severance. The door closed softly, thunder rumbling distant, psychological impact lingering, a morally gray victory in the storm's wake.